Okay, so I'm back inside my All About Trees webpage that I built in Komodo Edit, okay? And what I want to do is I want to demonstrate a few things that you're going to see when you open up Joomla and you start to look at their code, okay? You're probably going to see a lot of divs, div tags, and you're going to see a lot of classes, okay, for sure. So I want to go over divs, classes, and IDs. So not only can you learn how to target a little more specifically in your styling, but you know, when you open up Joomla with Firebug and start to move around in it, you're not going to see a bunch of different ways that content are wrapped that you're not familiar with. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, as you can see, our H1 here has some styling applied to it, and I'm going to go over to the style sheet here, and here's our H1, right? And this is the styling that's applied here, okay? And that's fine, except for the fact that, so this H1 here, okay, is all about trees. So let's go, you know, down here, and what if I want to apply a another H1, and it says, you know, check out this H1, okay? And I hit save. What's gonna happen? Let's go check it out. See that it again applies that styling, okay? So now every time we want to use an H1, we are going to be stuck using this styling right here, okay? So there has to be more specific ways to target content within our documents. So what I want to do is go back over here, and I'm going to delete that and hit save, and it's gone. And let's go up to the top here and see what's going on with this H1. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do here to target, okay? And even in HTML5 now, they even just have a header tag that you can use to apply styling directly to the header. What I want to show you first is divs, because you're going to see a lot of divs in Joomla, okay? So I'm here at the W3 school. So again, if you ever get lost with this stuff, just go to the W3 schools. Now, in their example, they're using inline styles here, and we are not using inline styles. And all using inline styles is you know, applying the CSS within the particular tag in the HTML document. But we have a separate style sheet here. And remember, the power of CSS is that you can apply style to targeted elements, right? And so in this instance here, I'm referencing this style sheet, so every other HTML document that I want to create, as long as I reference this style sheet, I can use that styling, okay? Let's go ahead and check this out though. So here's an example of a div, okay? Now, this div tag here is wrapping this H3 and this paragraph, okay? And then here's the closing div, okay? And what it's saying is make it blue. And so it's all blue. The H3 is blue, and the paragraph here is blue, okay? So it's just a way to divide content, okay? Nice and straightforward. Let's go ahead and play around with that a little bit. For example, if I wanted to, right up here, wrap this header, right, my H1 here, in a div tag, okay, like so. And I hit save. What's going to happen? Nothing. Why? Because I haven't applied any styling yet, okay? What I want to do is, I no longer want my H1s to have a green background, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that, okay? Like so, okay? And I think I no longer want it to have the gray color either, okay? So let's go ahead and get rid of that, okay? And I'm going to hit save. Let's go over here and refresh. Okay, so there we go. No longer a background, no longer a gray color, okay? And why is that nice? Well, right now we're free to use another H1 somewhere else. For example, if we were really dividing up this content for some reason, we wanted, you know, an H1 to go right here, we could do that. Here is, well, an H1, okay? All right, and we save that. And let's go ahead and scroll down now, and you're going to see here is an H1, okay? So now we're free. What we've done is we've freed up that element, okay? It's no longer chained down to that styling, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, well, we'll leave that. Okay, so where are we at here? Back here with the div. Now again, what if I wanted to wrap this content here in a div and then make all the text in here blue or something, just like when we looked at you know, right here. Okay, what if I wanted to do that, but I didn't want it to do it to everything? Again, you wouldn't want to just style that div. Okay, so there's got to be ways to be more specific. Now, what there are is there's classes and there's IDs, and how it works is IDs are you can only use them once. Okay, they're a unique identifier, and you use them for something that you're only going to use once on the page, and that's it. Classes you can use over and over again. Other than that, they function in a really similar way, and if you do some research on classes and IDs, to be honest, there's a lot of debate right now on whether or not, when are the right times to even use IDs anymore when you can just use classes. But anyway, they're both going to pop up. You're going to see a lot of classes in Joomla, so I'm going to demonstrate them both to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and create an ID right here. So inside this particular div, let's call that the header. Okay, so let's create an ID of header. So how we do that is ID equals, and then in quotes, we'll call this header. Okay? All right, and that's all we need to do, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and nothing happens. As you can see, it didn't change a thing, because now we need to apply a styling to this ID. Okay? So how do we do that? Now, it's a little bit different. Okay? You can't just type in header the same way. Okay? What you want to do is you want to type in the pound sign first, and that means that you are going to style an ID. Okay? And so we have header here, and let's make the background of the header blue. Okay, blue. I want to make it blue just so that it's different than the green one we just had. Okay, and yep, that's all we need to do. So I'm going to come back here now and refresh, and there you go. Now it has a blue background. Okay, and now why did I do it this way? Well, I could have actually put this inside of this tag as well, except for it would by doing it to the div, I can actually do this now and have an H4 in here. Okay, and no, really, this site is all about trees. Okay, one for the skeptics. All right. Okay, see that? See what happened when I refreshed it? It doesn't look so nice, but okay, we have created a div, and we are styling the div through this ID here of header. Okay, so we are targeting only this particular div. Okay, not every div. Okay, for example, let's go down and wrap this content right here in a div. Okay. Okay, like so, and right here, and we're going to close that div up, okay, and we save, and notice how it didn't wrap it in any more blue? Yeah, okay, or it didn't give that blue background to that particular div. That's because this div here is not being styled in the style sheet, but this particular one here, an ID within that div is being styled, okay? So that's how divs work. It's just another way to divide up content. So when you start to look, and of course Joomla with all of its positions and modules and various areas, there's a lot of divs that you'll see. Okay, so if you see a lot of div tags going on when you're looking inside Joomla and trying to target the specific element in Firebug that you're going to need to target, that's what a div does. You'll see them, and hopefully that doesn't confuse you now. Okay, so let's move on. So, well, a really quick, easy way to demonstrate how a class works is, okay, so I'm in this first paragraph here, in botany, a tree is planted, and what I want to do then is I want to go ahead and create a class, and we'll just call this larger text, okay, just like that, larger text, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and save that, and of course it didn't do anything, but now we have this here larger text, so we can use that in the CSS. Now, unlike IDs where we're using the pound symbol, remember you can only use this ID once, whereas classes you can use repeatedly in your documents. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and type in the period or the dot, okay, and then larger text, okay. So that's the difference between using a class, okay, and using an ID, right? The ID uses the pound sign, and larger text here, my class uses that period, okay. And then again, you open and close with the curly braces. Okay, so let's go ahead and set the font size, and we'll set it to 2M, right? Okay. And save that. Let's go back over here and let's hit save. Okay, see that? How it made the first part larger? Okay, cool. Now we can use these anywhere we want to. For example, let's see, we'll have another paragraph right here, and if I was to go ahead and just enter in that same thing again, class equals, okay, whoops, equals, and larger text, okay, just like that, and got to put that in quotes. Okay, and let's go ahead and hit save, and let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. Look at all that large text. Okay, does not look pretty. Okay, but that's what's going on. Okay, and that's all classes are, and that's all IDs are, and that's all divs are. So they're just more ways to divide content. Okay, divs are a way to divide content, just like the name implies, and then IDs are a way to target specific elements within your page. Okay, and they can only be used once within your document. Classes you can use over and over again. Okay, and you're going to see a lot more classes, and then the thing to remember is that when you see a class, it's going to have this period in front of it. Okay, and this, when you're looking up styles in Firebug, when you're examining your Joomla site, you're going to see a lot of classes. Okay, sometimes they'll be stacked up, like you know, period, and then selector, period, selectors, period, and selector, just you know, over and over, and then one style here. Okay, I'll show you in a minute what I mean, but anyway, there's no difference at all between the regular old selectors here, like HTML body h1, except for they're targeting a little bit more specific areas of content. Okay, but it's the same exact thing, whereas of course if I change this to be 1.5 right here and save, come over here and refresh, okay, and as you can see, it made it a little bit smaller now. It's not quite as large, right? It's 1.5 ems. Okay, so that's all that is. They're really useful, really powerful way to work with you know, styling your content, and it's going to pop up a lot. So anyway, just keep that in mind when you see these once we dive into Firebug. Okay, so I'm inside HostMonster's cPanel, okay, and you know, a majority of these hosting companies use cPanel, and it's going to be really similar to this. And even if they're using something different, these areas are likely going to be similar. Okay, so for HostMonster, if I wanted to install Joomla, I would go to Simple Scripts, you know, and choose a domain name and install Joomla. What happens when I do that is that it generates a database for me. Okay, you have to have a database in order to run a content management system. Okay, now you can actually create your own databases down here. See where it says MySQL databases? You can create one, and there's times when you're going to want to actually do that. It's really easy. You just click on this, and you know, it's going to ask you what you want to name your database, and you name it whatever you want, and then you give yourself a username and password, and then you've created a database. Now, in order to install a Joomla template as a quick start package, you have to create a database. Okay, and then you upload all the files in the quick start, which is Joomla and the template and all of the images and various assets that go with that template, and that will give you the exact same template as in the demo version when you're looking at templates demos. Okay, it'll override all your content, so you don't want to do that unless you're ready to start completely from scratch all over again. And but anyway, that's where you go to do that. And you know, you can go ahead and explore through all these things. Different hosting companies are going to offer different you know, various tools within their cPanels or similar area. But one thing that, you know, all of these companies that you're paying for are going to offer is the file manager in one way or another. And the file manager is where all your files are sitting. Okay, so right here I've got my All About Trees website. Okay, and what this is it's a Joomla 2.5 site with an Eris template set up as the default front end template, and then, you know, some various images and content. Okay, so here's all my files, right? And I got a bunch of websites here. I'm going to click on the About Trees one. Okay, now this About Trees contains every file for this website. Okay, so let's see what we have here. You know, we have modules, we have plugins, templates. Okay, that's probably pretty approachable right now. Let's go ahead and look at that. Okay, and so we have the Beast 5, the Beast 20, Joom Spirit 76, right? And then we have this Eris template, and Eris is the one that I'm using, okay? So I'm going to click on Eris. And let's see, well, we have HTML, images, JavaScript. What else is here? What's some CSS? Okay, that's pretty approachable. Let's look at that. And there's all the style sheets. Okay, these are all the style sheets that define the styling in the Eris template. Okay, so you can actually open these right up and change whatever you want in here, and it's going to be, you know, there'll be various selectors, right? And you'll have the elements. You'll see the classes and the IDs. Okay, and you can actually get in there and just change whatever you want, do all kinds of damage, and it is going to be permanent. Well, pretty permanent. Okay, most of these companies actually have backup services, you know, that you can use to, when you completely destroy your site, you can set it back to how it was yesterday. HostMonster's been great about that, actually. I've done some serious damage in the past and had to call them, and they just reset it to, you know, how it was the morning before I started messing things up. So, nice feature there on HostMonster. But anyway, so what I'm getting at here is if you're going to mess around with anything, make sure and back it up. You know, for example, template CSS. I'm just double clicked on it and I'm downloading it. So I have a copy of it on my machine. Okay. Also, you can open it up and just copy that text into a plain text editor or just wherever, and just pay attention because, you know, it can get pretty scary. Let's just look at the template CSS real quick. Okay. Opening up in a code editor here. Okay, just to give you a look. Yikes, right? Okay, but there's nothing here that you can't actually make it through. It's just more than we want to, and we got to give thanks for Joomla and content management systems like that, where we don't have to write all of this. But okay, see, look at all these classes. See the periods right there? All those classes. Oh, here's some IDs. You know, stuff that you'll really be able to recognize. You know, if when you go through it, of course, here's all our headings, you know, H1, H2, H3s, and so on. Okay, yes, you can get in here and change whatever you want and save, okay, and it's going to do it in real time. For example, we could change the background of this website right in here, but we don't want to do that. I just want to show you that this is where the files are sitting. Okay, I'm in here all the time, actually. And for those of you that use Dreamweaver, you'll be familiar with getting the same access to all the same files through the FTP and Dreamweaver. I'm a big fan of CyberDuck here. FileZilla is another one, and they're just ways to communicate with the file structure on your website. However, companies like HostMonster also give you a file manager, and you can do it this way as well. There's always 10 ways to do everything, I swear. So anyway, this is where you access the HTML, CSS, is where you access every single part of your website, actually. Okay, now can you get in here and change things? You sure can, and actually there's a lot of times where you need to, because the style sheets that you've been given access to within Joomla might not be everything that you need to have access to in order to completely customize your template the way that you want to. So you might find yourself in here, and just be careful, back up stuff, and just, you know, pay attention to what you're doing. And yeah, you know, it never hurts to actually break something just to learn how to fix it either when you're messing around with websites, when you have the freedom to do that. Okay, so the nice thing is, though, is that Joomla actually offers an area where you can access the style sheets, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead now and get into my administrator here and take a look at where those are sitting. Okay, so here I am in the administration backend of my Joomla site, the All About Trees website, and I want to show you some stuff here. So, okay. Extensions, right? Template manager. Okay, I'm going to click on templates here. Scroll down to the Eris details and files. And here are our CSS sheets, okay? And you know, there's that template CSS that we opened up in the file manager in HostMonster, okay? I want to go ahead and click on that. Okay, look at that. There is all of the CSS right there. And again, I would definitely advise, if you're going to mess around with any of this, to first copy all this code, okay? Of course, I've downloaded it off of HostMonster already, but if you just copy this code and then just paste it into a text editor, you know, like let's go ahead and just open the text editor right here and paste that in there. That way, you know, if you mess around with something and it wasn't what you wanted, you can always just slap the code right back in there. No harm done, okay? So anyway, there you go. Now, how do we know what is styling what? Look at all this code, okay? It's ridiculously confusing. And can you really, I mean, do you want to go through and read every single class and figure out what everything is doing in here, okay? No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of here right now, and we're going to talk about some web developer tools that both Firefox and Chrome offer for free that are extremely powerful and extremely useful. So let's go ahead and check those out now. Okay, so here we are looking at Firebug, and you can just do a search for Firebug or go to getfirebug.com. And Firebug is a free plugin that you will actually install right into the window of your Firefox browser. As you can see right here, I've got my little Firebug symbol, and yeah, I also have my ColorZilla one right here. These are really nice little developer tools. And anyway, you can use that to examine the HTML and CSS on your document, okay? Now, go ahead and spend some time here and just learn about what Firebug is, okay? There's tutorial videos on here. There's the frequently asked questions and the documentation. And I'm going to go ahead and demo it right now, but it's definitely worth your time to explore Firebug a little bit, okay? And just see what it can do. Now, once the plugin is installed, you can either right-click, like for example, let's go ahead and just click on this R. I'm going to right-click, see at the bottom where it says Inspect Element with Firebug? Yeah, you can also, you click on that, or you can also open up Firebug by clicking right here, okay? And again, just go here, just install Firebug, and you know, there's going to be a recommended version that it tells you to install. Go ahead and do that and just follow the instructions, easy as can be, okay? So, and let me know if you have any questions with that, but it's a really straightforward install. And then you'll have Firebug working. Now, I want to show you something else. I'm going to switch. Notice I'm in Firefox right now, okay? I'm going to switch out of Firefox into Chrome, okay? I use Chrome a lot, so now I'm in Chrome. Now, Chrome has a built-in web developer tool as well, okay? It's called the Inspector. And all I have to do is right-click and click on Inspect Element, okay? And it's going to do the same exact thing. They're really, really similar tools. And anyway, so let's go ahead and go back and look at Firebug first, okay? So here I am in Firefox, and so what I can do is I'm going to come up here and right-click and Inspect Element with Firebug. And there you go. Look at that. It's letting you have a look at the code, okay? So here's our divs, just like I promised. You'd see a lot of divs, okay? And then over here we have IDs, okay? And then if you scroll through here, you'll see a lot of classes as well. Okay, now, you can do changes right in here. However, it's only going to do it in real time as a preview to let you know what you can mess with and what you shouldn't, and how to target, you know, the various elements on your site. For example, I'm going to again click right on the R. I think it's already selected, but just to show you, and there we go, okay? And it's showing us this ID here of logo, okay? And of course it's also an anchor, so I'm assuming, yeah, see how it turns to the pointer finger, letting you know that if you click on that, it's actually a link as well. Okay, great. And then under here, what do we have? We have the Firebug, and that is an H1 element, okay? And you can, now over here, you see that? It's actually the CSS rules, okay? So we have the HTML, and we have the CSS over here, and you can mess around with whatever you want, and it's going to actually update in real time for you right now. But once you refresh, it'll all go away because you're not actually writing the files. Do you remember we looked at the file manager and host monster where those files are sitting? Yeah, you're not actually getting there from here, okay, which is nice, because just think if you could go to Firebug's website, open it up, and change Firebug here to say whatever you wanted, and I mean, just think the internet would be more of a chaotic wreck than it already is. So that's we can't access the files inside, okay? But we can use them as developers. We can access all this code and change things in it, and it'll happen for us, and that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and mess around a little bit with this. For example, I'm going to go ahead and just, well, let's just delete this. There it goes. See that? Okay, just took away that H1 completely and the logo, and it's gone. Okay, and let's go ahead and inspect this element here. Okay, I want to get right on it. Oh, there it is, web development. And let's go ahead and delete that as well. And it's gone. Okay, and over here we have all the CSS. Now, where are these CSS sheets? They're sitting, you know, in the great file manager of getfirebug.com. But we know this at least. We know that this particular styling is sitting on a sheet called master.css. And it even says it's at line 66. So now we know where to go to change these things if we had access. You know, I'm just showing you right on Firebug's site. Okay, and let's see, what else can I show you real quick here? See this here? If I click on that, now look at everywhere I go, it's automatically highlighting the different areas and then going right to that bit of code and showing you what is going on. Now, this in itself is so helpful if you're just curious how somebody set up a particular anything on a website. You can actually look at it and see what's going on here, okay? And you even know where these things are sitting, okay? So anyhow, anyway, keep that in mind too, that anyone can do this to your site. So it's, you know, anything that you're writing in your code or whatever, make it look nice. You know, if it's really sloppy or whatever, or you got stuff all over the place, you know, or you've named things in really obscure ways, you know, people can actually access that stuff. So anyway, and so I've done a lot of damage here. Let's go ahead and do a bunch more. I'm just going to start selecting these things and deleting them. Okay, look at that. And deleting, and anyway, what do we do here? Nothing. Nothing is left. Okay, there we go. I've deleted everything off of getfirebug.com. Okay, now of course, if you were to go to getfirebug.com right now, it would not show this. Okay, this is just my browser right now rendering this on my machine in real time. And if I was to refresh, it all pops back up. There's our Firebug logo once again. Okay, cool, easy enough. Okay, and since we're here, if I click on the H2 right here, Web Development Evolved, okay, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now, look how you can change anything in real time. If I delete that, right, it actually took it out. So that Web Evolved, it took that out of there. And of course, this didn't happen all over. It just happened right in here. Now, so this is an H2, right? So we can see over here that there's an H2 here, and this is the font family that H2s are being styled with, okay? You can shut that off. See that? Turning it on and off. Okay, now and we also know that that's at master CSS line 291. So then we can go find that CSS sheet if we had access to Firebug CSS there and change that. Okay, and again, you can mess around with this stuff right in here. Like for example, if I make this times, you see how it changed, the font changed just like that. Okay, so this is a way for you to test out different styling, okay, and without actually messing anything up. And then once you know what you need to target and what you have to go and change into the new properties, you know exactly how to do that, and you've had a nice testing area for doing that without doing any damage. Okay, so let's try something else. So all of our selectors here, it looks like, are inheriting some properties here from the body. Okay, for example, this color right here. So let's go ahead and change that to a different color altogether. Let's go ahead and just change that to red. Okay, look at that, everything changed to red on here just like that. Okay, and instead of saying red, it changed it to the hexadecimal right here. Okay, which is actually really nice that it does that. So we know that master CSS line 26, this is where we would change this particular text color here, and it looks like, let's go ahead and close this, it changed all of the text that's being governed by it. Okay, see that? So all of this is inherited text from the body, and so I changed the body, and all this is now red. Okay, so anyway, that's a really fast introduction to Firebug. Okay, so now let's go ahead and jump back into Joomla and give this a shot. Okay, so here I am in Chrome, okay? And instead of demonstrating with Firebug, I'm going to demonstrate with the Chrome Inspector, okay? For what we're going to do, you can use either one. That's just fine. Anyway, so Chrome Inspector, I'm going to pick, this deciduous trees here and right-click and inspect element. And there we go, HTML on one side, CSS on the other. Really similar to Firebug, okay? And so let's go ahead and select the anchor here. And you see how we have this class here and this particular ID. And over here, it's showing us the styles that are actually governing everything that has to do with what we've clicked on. Okay, and of course, if you move to a different area, like for example, if I move to right here, see how that changed over here? Yeah, okay. So just select that and then start. Once you have, inspected the element, you may need to open up some of these twirlies here and kind of mess around a little bit until you find a bit of code that looks like what you're looking for. For example, we are looking for something to change text. Okay, well here's the word font size, font weight, color, and look, this color here, okay, happens to be the same color as that. Okay, so that's a pretty nice clue that that's something that we're going to want to change. And what are the classes here? Okay, it looks like we have the this RT Fusion menu, menu top, and list root, right? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Now, where is this sitting? It's sitting in a file called template.css. Okay, now we could certainly go into HostMonster, go to the file manager, find template.css in the Eris template within our Joomla folder, and edit it right there. Not a problem. Okay, but let's just see where this is. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, template CSS. And there we go. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and hit Command F to do a search for this particular Fusion menu top, right, and the list root. Okay, and let's see right here. I can see that there's those classes. Okay, that's that class that we were just looking at, and let's see. Okay, yep, font size 15 pixels, font weight bold, and there's that hexadecimal for the color. Let's go ahead and look over here, and there's that hexadecimal for the color right there. Okay, now you can actually just change that. Okay, and it'll change in your site, no problem. Okay, pretty straightforward. Chrome's nice because you actually have this little color picker here, and you can cruise around here and change the color whatever you want. And see how it's changing up here? Okay. I'll go ahead and change that to like a sage-ish color. Maybe something like, yeah, like, I don't know, like whatever. That's going to work. Okay, so that is the number right there that we want to change that hex value to. Okay, and of course, if we were to refresh this page right now, this was is going to set back to where it was before. I'm going to refresh. And as you can see, none of the changes we did were permanent. Okay, that was just a way for us to experiment and test. But we now know that this is the what I want to change. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and just change it right here, just to show you that that can be done. Okay, and I'm going to hit save. Okay, and file changed successfully. Now that was kind of a bold move on my part because I already have a backup of this. And I was confident that I could make that change. I highly recommend if you're going to actually mess around like this in here, copy that and just throw that into, see I already had it right here, but just throw it in right there, okay? And save it, okay? Then go ahead and make changes and no damage done. So anyway, let's go over here now and refresh. Okay, see now I have blue text up here, and this is permanent, okay? and it's, I actually did it inside the CSS. I'm gonna go ahead and close this, and so it is now officially a part of this document, okay, or this whole entire CMS, okay, and anything that falls within that class is going to be this color now, okay. So this is really helpful because okay, a lot of templates, when you go into, let's see, not this area, right, but we actually go into, I'm going to close out of here now. Instead of the templates area, if we go to the styles area, click on the Eris default, because that's the template that I'm using. Okay, you can actually get in here, right, and change a lot of this stuff anyway, the various colors. So, go ahead and check out, if you're thinking about changing something and customizing it in your site, seeing what features are actually added right to the template. Sometimes you want to have many, and you're going to have to get in and change the files on everything. Sometimes it comes with a really nice little backend like this where you can get in and change things, okay? So, anyway, we successfully used Firebug, or in this case Chrome Inspector, to change this particular font, okay? And I might actually change that back. I'm not sure if I really like that much. But that's a really quick example right there. And I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. Okay, I want to show you something else that you're going to run into that using Firebug or Chrome Inspector is going to be really helpful in fixing for you. Now, when you install your template, there's a really good chance that you're going to end up with a logo right here or somewhere that's like the name of the template, okay? Now, if you got a free template, they're going to tell you that they don't want you to remove the link back to their site. They are not talking about the logo right here, because nobody would use them if you're using these for your business or your portfolio and you have their logo right here. But usually down here somewhere there's a little thing that links back to their site. And sometimes they say go ahead and delete that. It just depends. So you want to read the license on the particular template that you're using. Okay, and of course, if you purchase one, you can just get rid of everything and do whatever you want with it, and then you're welcome to actually sell that to usually one client. Then, so it's really important to read the licensing agreements. However, it's very common for a logo to be right here. Now, this particular template, it came with a blank spot for the logo. And often it won't, though. Often there'll be like something right here that says the name of the template, and you're going to want to fix that. Now, regardless, okay, well, actually, no. If there's a logo right here and you do see a logo on your template, you can, of course, just inspect the element, find the name of that particular image, and then just go into the Media Manager in Joomla, or into the file manager in your hosting services file manager, or of course access it through Dreamweaver via FTP or CyberDuck, via FTP with Dreamweaver or CyberDuck or FileZilla. There's a lot of different ways to get there, and just swap that image out for one with the same name. Okay, or let's see. Alternatively, there'll be a logo right here, and you'll get rid of it and you'll put yours in, and yours might not fit in this position correctly, and you're going to need to adjust the positioning. You do that once again in the CSS. Okay, so what I want to do now is I am here in the very robust templates manager for the Eris template, okay? And if you followed right along with me in the past videos and you use this template here, then yeah, you can come right here and do this with me. But just know that it's really common for a logo to be put right here. Sometimes you have the ability to go in and just change the logo, and sometimes you don't. And sometimes you have to just find out what is why is that logo there, okay? And the inspector will tell you what image it's referencing, okay? And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. First, we need to put a logo here, okay? So luckily, this template lets me choose a new logo, and that's what I'm going to do, okay? So I'm going to select, and I'm going to go to Choose File, and then I have this All About Trees logo right here that I made. Now, if you want a logo If you recall from the past video on changing the Joomla logo, I have an alternative there for those of you that do not use Photoshop to use a free tool online to generate your own logo. Okay, so you're welcome to do that if you'd like. Okay, or of course you can actually download Photoshop as a trial version for free. There's a lot of different ones out there, but I do have, you know, that video that shows you how to quickly and easily generate a logo for free for your site. Anyway, I'm going to upload. Okay, and scroll down and where it is. There it is, right there. Okay, so click on it and then insert. Okay, and then click save. Okay, and notice that you actually can define the width and the height right here. Okay, and apparently the positioning. These are just the different modules. Okay, now you can do this. But a lot of times in templates you can't do that, and so we're going to just ignore that and just pretend that you can't, okay? And come over here and refresh. And you can see our logo popping up now. Everything else is still loading. I got a slow internet connection, I guess. But anyway, there's my logo, okay? And as you can see, it doesn't fit in this position at all. And I'm actually made it nice and long like that just to have it overlap. Okay, and let's see. What's wrong with this logo? Well, first off, there's deciduous leaves coming off of a coniferous bonsai tree, which makes no sense, but we don't need to worry about that. What we need to worry about is the fact that our home button and the logo here are completely overlapping each other. Okay, now that's actually something we can address in the CSS and fix. Okay, now obviously the spot for this logo is quite small, so you can actually just put a small logo in there and get that to work. But what if this is really what I wanted? What if I wanted these leaves coming off of here and I want this to be this size? I need to actually change the positioning. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on that image and inspect the element and see what we get. Okay, so here we go. And now see how it says an anchor right here like that? Now automatically it's set up, because it's a logo, to be a link back to the home page. Okay, and that's just a nice feature. Almost all websites that you go to, if you look at that main logo out there, when you click on that logo will take you to a specific place. Okay, fair enough. Now that we're here, let's look at the CSS and see what's going on. Okay, so we see right here that we have a background, and that background is actually taking me to that image, right? Okay, yeah, it's kind of blocked off right here as far as being able to fully read, but it's pointing to that image, okay? And if I was to copy the link address, okay, and open up a new tab here and put that link in there, see that? That's the full link to that exact logo right there, the All About Trees logo that I just uploaded. Now, if I was to hit enter here, look at that. It took me to the exact location in my files here, okay, to that PNG, the logo image, okay? So it's in my About Tree site, in Images. Now remember, it's going to be in a folder called Images on the File Manager in HostMonster. It's also Images, as in the name of the Media Manager folder is called Images in Joomla, / the name of the file, okay? So it's showing you that it's pointing directly to it. Not a problem. Now, here's the width, right? So the width and the height of the image. I don't want to change that, okay? But what I do want to do is I want to change its position. And look at this right here, okay? So we have an ID for this particular logo. And, okay, what do we see here? Okay, we see a margin left at negative 470 pixels. So let's go ahead and just change this. Let's change it the wrong way first. Okay, I'll change this to 2. See how it jumped way over like that? Okay, yeah. So let's change it to, say, 6. That's too far over. How about 5? Perfect. Okay, so that actually looks pretty good right there. So how do you think we do that? Well, let's have a look over here. Template CSS. Okay, this particular ID, we need to change that margin left to be minus 570 pixels. Okay, just like that, and then we're going to end up with you know, this logo in the proper position. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and refresh again, because, you know, of course we didn't do this in real time, so if I refresh it's going to mess this up again, and then we'll go over and we'll actually adjust the CSS. Okay, got to close out of this. Okay, move over to templates. Okay, scroll down to the Eris details and files, because this is the template that I'm using, and remember it was template.css. Okay, and let's see, what are we looking for over here? Oh, you can see how that's messed up again, right? I'm going to inspect that element, and we are looking for the ID, which is, yes, the RT dash logo. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy that. Now, what I like to do is, you know, select the area in here, okay? And first off, of course, copy it. All right, and you know, I actually still have it here, but just for the sake of doing it, there, copy it on there, okay, just in case I do something ridiculous here. Okay, and now what we're going to look for is, I'm going to do a Command F. This is just a faster way to, you know, find various bits of text within your document. You can do this on any website. So I believe it was RT-logo. There we are, right there. Okay, and there it is. So I believe we were changing that to be -670. Is that correct? Let's go ahead and try it. So I'm gonna hit save there. Come back over here, close my inspector, and hit refresh. And there it is, and it is now out of the way, and that's just fine. Although I do believe that we were looking at setting it to 570, right? Because that looks a little too far over. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. Save again. Remember to back up your code. Yes, remember to back up your code. If you mess around with this stuff long enough, there'll be times when you don't back up your code and you will mess something up and you will really regret it. It's just one of those things. So, you know, a heads up right now. Okay, there we go. And the logo looks like it's in the right position. Now, how do you demonstrate this for an assignment? Okay, let's go back to our All About Trees logo here and inspect the element again. Okay, and there's the changes that we made, right? Okay, so what I need to know is I need to know what the original code was, the location of that code, the location of the item you're changing. In this case, it's the logo, and it's not just on the home page, it's on every page, okay? So if I was to describe this, I would just say, you know, the logo up here on the upper left-hand corner of every page. And I need to know what style sheet you adjusted. In this case, it's the template.css. And then what the original code was and what the change code was. Okay, so let's check this out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just copy. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just copy all of this particular class. Okay, and let's go to text edit and paste it in there. Okay. So, although it wasn't 570 here, I believe it was 470, right? That was the original. Okay, so so I changed, whoops, to spell things right, I changed the logo on the upper left corner of my site. Okay, spelling things all over the place at the moment. Okay. So there we go. Now I know where it was located. Okay, the logo, let's get this out of the way. The logo in the upper left corner of the site. Okay, no problem. Okay, here is the original code that is, what should we put here? Styling this logo. Okay, so there we go. No problem. That way I can see what it was originally, okay? And something else I want to know is, I'm going to go ahead and I only changed this little bit of code right here, so this is the only code I need to include, okay? So here is the change I made to the template.css file, okay? And there it is, and we changed that to 570. Nice and easy, right? Okay, so now, and then of course you just upload this to Moodle, okay? Now, once I have this, I can then go to your website, inspect the element. In this case, I would be inspecting the logo, okay? And then I can verify your code changes by going right here and saying, yes, you did it in template.css, that's correct. Here's what the code used to be. What if I change that back? Okay, and let's just see. Oh, there we go. Change that to 4. Okay, and see, it jumped it over. And I'm able to see, oh, okay, I can see why you moved that. Okay, and so then I can change it back to the change that you made in this case. Whoops. Like so. And it jumped it back. Okay, and so now I'm able to test out your demonstration, okay? And that way I know that you know where your style sheet was, what code you needed to change, the change you made, okay? No problem. Now, if you don't want to hand in a Word document like this, there's other things that you're welcome to do. You can do screen captures if you want to. For example, if I just open this up right here, on the Mac I would use grab, or you would just do print screen on Windows and just print this, okay, and then make the change, and then print that again, and then upload those 2 pictures to me. You're welcome to do that. You can also, let's see, well, if you're on a Mac, you could actually just use QuickTime Player and do a screen recording, okay? And I'm doing a screen recording right now. I'm not using QuickTime, but you can do that in QuickTime, okay? And that's something that comes for free. I believe that's only Mac though, but if you're on a Windows machine, there are there's a lot of free software out there for doing screen captures, and they're a lot of fun, so you can explore that. And that's just something if you'd like to do, and you can upload that to YouTube, or you can really compress that movie and send it to me if you want to, and just literally record yourself making the changes, and I can see it that way too. However you want to do it. I'm guessing most of you are going to want to just do this, okay? Or do screen captures and upload pictures for me. But I just need a way to see that you are actually able to make these changes, okay, and use Firebug or Chrome Inspector to do that. And as you continue on your journey in working with CMS, trust me, Firebug and Chrome Inspector are going to be very good friends of yours. They're awesome tools, and well, there you go.